have in the studio tonight a very exceptional, if not to say remarkable young man. Until a few months ago, no one would have considered him to be any more than just another one of the country's jobless, trying to cope like millions of others. Until, that is, he made his startling revelation on the Big Breakfast that he was, in fact, the reincarnation of William Shakespeare. Len Stokes.
Hello, yes.
Now, Len, you don't mind me calling you Len, do you?
You can call me Will if you like.
Will? Oh, yeah, yes, of course. Now, Len, when did you first become aware of this amazing conviction?
Marry, 'twas of a Saturday, these few months past, when January wind was blowing cold, and I did spend the even hours up the Mason Helmet, and having done a couple of decent dogs at Catford, drank myself a skinful. Then did I tread homeward, taking the shortcut up the back of the coke sheds, when such a strange sensation came o'er me as I can scarce describe. My blood did lose its warmth, my limbs did shake with more than winter's icy blast, and I was frighted.
What was it exactly? Some sort of vision?
Nay, 'twas like a voice that was my own, and yet which spake to me, and told me I was he, and he was me.
I see. And not a pleasant experience for you.
Bleeding frightening, forsooth.
You sure it wasn't in your own head, this voice?
Nay, 'twas for real, there is no doubt. Since early youth did I feel that I was special and particular. E'en at school I spake a strange tongue, and could not grasp the reason.
This idiom of yours, this mixture of idioms, you say you've always had it.
I was mocked at school by fellow pupils, and was thought a nutter.
You suffered at school from this?
Yea, I did incur the wrath of Arthur Stringer's gang, and was duffed up in the playground. Many a time and oft did they give me the Chinese burn.
Most unfortunate childhood, which I suppose must have helped you on the path to crime. For indeed, 4 years after leaving school, you found yourself in prison.
I did transgress, and I care not to hide it. Inside have I been through foolish lust for gold. O greed, thou lascivious siren that lureth men upon the rocks with deadly promises. That's good, that, isn't it? I can come out with stuff like that, you see. That's a metaphor.
Is it?
Or some bloody thing or other, I can't remember.
No. Anyway,
a crime did I commit. My mate and I did go upon the night to play the villain. We trod the road to town to seek our spoil, and as the midnight hour came on, did do an off-licence.
a venture that was to prove unsuccessful.
Aye. Ere we parked the plunder in my shed, when knocking sounded on the door. 'Twas the police without, demanding in. Forcing calm upon my spirit, I did ope the door in guise of one with naught to hide. What means this thunderous crashing on the door that rents the air and makes the tired spirit jump and quake most rudely out of Morpheus' sweet embrace, quoth I. Oh my God, we got a loony, quoth he.
Yes, and you were discovered, of course. They found you out.
Yea, we were undone, indeed we were undone. They burst across the threshold, scattering o'er the house, for they did have a search warrant.
This must have been a very distressing experience. For a genius.
Well, I didn't exactly know what I was then, you know, but for a tea leaf it's a bit of a choker when you get tumbled.
Quite so. And then they went over the house. And then what?
Then did they go to the shed, and did call for entry with the voice of stentor. I did say them nay with protestations and excuses, and lo, they did smite upon the door, and did cast it down, then poureth in like angry floods do spill into a roomy vault beneath the earth, and gazed about with eyes of hawks, and did discover the 15 crates of Johnny Walker and the 9,000 fags.
Yes.
And I did do my time.
Yes. Now, with the criminal record and the unemployment that's followed, some might say that this was really nothing more than just a Yes, well, he's not here.
Thank God for that.
Now, let me ask you about your past life. Do you remember anything about Elizabethan England?
Nay, it is all hazy and clouded.
I thought it might be.
But I have fetched out from the library many books on the period, which I and my agent are carefully reading through to help give me memory a jog, you see. And by the end of this year, I shall be able to paint a full and comprehensive picture of my former times.
Oh, this is your tour, your one-man show.
That's right.
With tickets starting from £85?
A small price to pay for the chance to hear a discourse that comes in all effects from the greatest writer in the English language.
Len Stokes, thank you very much.
OK, everyone, thanks. That's a wrap.
Here, you're making this up, aren't you?
'Tis not so, I speak naught but truth.
Oh, come off it. Nobody's listening now. You're making this up.
'Tis not so, thou saucy sceptic. By Mars and Mercury's wings, if faith withal and out of doubt.
Well, I don't believe a word of it.
I don't bleeding care if you do or not.